guess who's back? It's the commish back here with week 2 game previews. I hope everyone enjoyed week 1. I know I did. It was a lot of fun. So let's just get right into it without wasting any more time. First game there, commish 1-0, taking on Stanton and BC Lions at 0-1. Taking care of business this year already, number 1 in the league. Obviously Tyreek's 50.9-point effort obviously helped with that. Looking at this matchup with the BC Lions, it looks like it's going to be Jimmy G's turn at quarterback. I went Darnold week 1, it paid off. Going to go Jimmy G this time against that Detroit defense. Looking at BC Lions, when's Dez going to ever sign? That's the thing. Can he be a contributing factor? And then Matthew Stafford, wow, 4 picks, you kidding? Hopefully he can rebound, but it's going to be against San Francisco, so we'll see. Definitely got the horror business in this one. Next up, we got Brandon and the Architect. He's sitting at 1-0. Take on Milan in the 6, 1-0. Game of the week runner-up, really. What the Architect did to Nathan's Lobos and John, formerly My Ball Zach Ertz, was tremendous. A big upset. A guy that came in, took over Steven's team, which, is scary in itself. Speaking of scary, the run game for Architect looks scary now. You got AP, you got Lindsey, Crowell. These guys delivered on all their promises. But how does that compare to the 6? He's got Barkley, the number 1 pick, and I kind of see him being the next Shady. He's kind of plays like that, where he's going to get a lot of touches. Shady, when he played for Philly, top 3 fantasy running back for sure. Maybe not this year, but maybe next for sure. And then, also looking at the 6, you got to expect more from the wide receiver core, though. Obviously, that's been a question mark there for game 1. So, obviously, I'm sure you'll be keeping an eye on that one. I have the 6 winning on this one. Barkley on National Night, I think, is going to have a big night. Next up, we got Robert and Templars, 1-0, taking on Lucas and Too Good for a Name at 0-1. Storyline, will Le'Veon return? I don't think he's gonna. Obviously, he's not gonna. That's gonna put Luke and Too Good for a Name in a tough spot. You need a rebound game here after losing a tough one to Bullies. And it doesn't get any easier. Brady rolling into Jacksonville to face that defense. So even for Tom Terrific, getting the points from him might be tough. Looking at Templars, the East dominance is there. Took out Fallen Misfits. But you need more from your keeper, J.J. Watt. You decided to keep J.J. Watt. Didn't put up much. But in lieu of that, I do have Robert and Templars winning this one over Luke. Next one, we got Fighting Geese and Sue's 1-0, taking on Glenn and Saving Ryan 0-1. Who will be saved? I don't know if it's going to be Saving Ryan or, for that matter, Matty Ice. Has Matty Ice cooled? It looks like it. He looked like an absolute bum game 1. And, because of that, Saving Ryan's a team that and he needs answers. And, where the answers are going to come, not sure. For Fighting Geese, to win less than a point, what a game, 0.76. I had my eye on it all week 1 there. Went right down to the last play. For Suze, the big glaring weakness on her team, obviously, is the RB3 slot. It'd be nice to address that at some point. I do have Geese winning this one. Next up, it's Lucas and Green Lightning 0-1. Taking on Brian and the 12th man 0-1. 2 original owners going head-to-head here. For Lucas, he looked like a shell of his former self in the championship rematch. The injuries have cost him Wentz and Jeffrey. Who knows when they're coming back. And then when you look at his linebacking core, pretty thin. Lemur, Floyd, Bostic, these guys aren't going to win you a championship. So question marks there for Green Lightning. For the 12th man, how do you recover from week 1? You lose by 0.76. The Ingram suspension obviously is costing you right now. And because of that, I'm going to go with Lucas and Green Lightning in this one, finding a way. Next up, you got Sean and Fallen Misfits 0-1. He's going to take on Nathan's Lobos 0-1. Team's looking for answers. After week 1. No one saw the loss coming for John. His team stacked. He had all the early picks. Brandon and the architect comes in, and it makes me think maybe the curse of Stephen is here. Remember, it was Jack Doyle who we all criticized Stephen for the trade. We know it's infamous, but Jack Doyle's the one that made that key fumble there at the end. So it's interesting to see, and I'm thinking that curse of Stephen's going to continue. I think Fallen Misfits can't fall into. Got to do whatever you can. Amari Cooper, I mean, you had that in the bag, but Amari Cooper, 1 catch, I think 9 yards, just awful in the Monday Nighter. I think Misfits is going to rebound, though. 0-2 for Nathan's Lopez is what I'm predicting. Next up, got Storm, 0-1. Krista taking on Chris and Bastion Street Bullies. To be or not be bullied in this one, I mean, you got to look at Storm. Overrated, maybe. We predicted it in the playoffs. Now with the injury to Baldwin. Russell Wilson not looking like himself, also being criticized for being overrated. It's tough. And when I look at Bullies, he still only has only one loss in the format. And what a game. Cooper Cup saved you there at the end. I had Storm originally in this one. I am changing that now to Bullies. I got Bullies on a change on that one. Next up, Matthew and Cape Cod Sharks 1-0. Taking on Ryan and Long Yard at 1-0. Huge game for both here. Huge opportunity for fairly new owners here to get it done. Matthew and Cape Cod Sharks never expected this. A couple of inactives in the lineup. Maybe in Tier 2 I'd expect that. Not in the LSC. Obviously he came out publicly and talked about it, but still got a Razzie on it. And what about Kamara? 45.10. Some people ask me, hey, is this guy going to deliver still? He obviously did. Looking at Long Yard, obviously he's saying Levian stay home. I mean, James Conner, 38.3, can't argue with that production. And, I mean, JG's only going to get better. I mean, they never really threw to him. He is going to get better. I originally had Sharks in this one. I am going to change it to Ryan and Long Yard. I think Long Yard's going to get a win here. And the main reason for the change is basically James Conner putting up the points. Next up, Stinker of the Week. Danny and Billsy Bobs taking on M Unique Ellie Island, her second straight week in a stinker. Both teams 0-1. Familiar places for Danny and Billsy Bobs. A guy that finished dead last in his first year, and things aren't looking too bright for this year. And, I say it's been an injury-plagued year, there's no doubt for Danny. But, I mean, not to be a prick, but remember that trade you made with Milan in the 6th, and you traded all those middle first 10-round picks to Milan to get, like, one really super high pick? Well, I mean, we saw with Darius, what happened to Darius, guys. All these injuries, if you would have had those picks in the middle rounds, that would have been your depth players. And I think it's costing you right now. Looking at Ellie Island, worst team in the league right now. Obviously, Cameron Meredith, a huge disappointment there, not dressing. But I do have Ellie Island winning this one. I think she finds a way Eli Manning on primetime night. Next up, our game of the week. 2 rivals, Ryan and Deuce Bombers, Chris and True North. And you might say, well, how are they rivals? They're not in the same division, but it is the game of the week because it's the semifinal rematch. Last year, Chris and True North had the perfect season going. He made it to the semifinals, and that's where he ran into Deuce Bombers. And Deuce Bombers did what he did, 251.92 to 222.48. This is the revenge game for True North. He has to find revenge, but it's going to be hard. Deuce Bombers looked really strong again this year. And now looking at his lineup, getting a guy like Duke Riley, who's probably going to put up new Deion Jones numbers. And when you look at Deuce, he had guys deliver in that game last year. Kareem Hunt had 43.6. Bortles had 33.34. The quarterbacks changed, but Kareem Hunt is still there. I think it's going to be a thriller, but I'm going to go with Chris and True North on this one. I think he finds a way to get revenge in him being featured in the second week in a row in Game of the Week. Good luck, everybody.